They said I can't gun bar him to death.
Yeah.
That's right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second episode of our r/podcast. I'm your host, Hula. We've got some familiar faces from the last episode with us today. We'll start off with Sauce. Sauce, what's good with you?
Beloved in the building. How's it hanging?
Beloved. Yusuf?
Listen, man, I killed Hula. That's it.
That is what we call headassery in the industry. And makes sense. How you doing?
Howdy, partners.
All right, and we got two new faces coming in from the for the podcast. We've got Luno. Luno, how you doing?
Doing great. Don't know how I got here, but I'm staying.
We got Young Swag God coming fresh off of a body. Swag, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you?
Doing all right. We've got a handful of topics to cover for this second episode of the podcast. If you haven't checked out the first episode, it's available up in the subreddit and in our YouTube channel. Go check that out. We debated Sue Surf's record. First topic of discussion today. The URL has announced Daylyt versus Tayrock for no
fuck that shit.
10.
Daylyt versus Tayrock in a small room. Who wins? Why?
I think so. This is Daylight's first battle back in how long? What was his last battle?
Mike P was his last battle. And that was years ago.
No, I'm talking about just in general, not just URL.
Oh shit! Oh no.
Yeah, if his last battle was Loso, then it's been a bit over 2 years since he's battled. So going off that it's Tayrock, I expect. Honestly, I'm thinking it's gonna be a classic. I think it's a potential classic. Tayrock's ability to just rap, while not as good as Daylight's, is still there, and I think Rock is gonna be motivated for this battle.
I need to argue, man. So I'm gonna say whatever Luno doesn't say.
I mean, I don't really have that much to weigh on, only because I'm not familiar with the early parts of either of their resumes. I think that Daylyt is probably in the conversation for number one pen in the sport. Even with the 2-year rust, I don't think he's going to disappoint because his creativity and his motivation levels are through the roof every time he hit the stage, even if he do some dumb shit. So I'm under the impression that Daylight's coming back to impress and maybe give us some shit that we wasn't ready for. But in Tayrock situation, I have mixed feelings. It's because, same time he, rocked the stage, rocked the world versus Pat Stay or whatever, electrifying performance. And all throughout his career, I seen him versus K-Shine. He was looking vulnerable. I don't know what the consensus is on Rock right now. I don't know what the people are thinking. They're probably hyped for the battle, but a lot of people are saying Daylyt is gonna cook Rock. I know DNA Tooth put up the poll, and 76% said that Daylyt was gonna fry them.
That's crazy.
It really remains to be seen, But I hope Rock could bring a good performance and make it a classic.
I'm gonna say this because I want to argue for a second. This is like Hitman Holla versus Daylyt in a small room, and I'm gonna tell you why. In this small environment, it's all about how much respect you get from your peers and that extra gas you're gonna get for that little gas area. And Tayrock is top tier in that category. Daylyt might win on camera, but it's gonna look different in that building, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if Rock won in the building.
Yeah.
Plus, Rock can say, "I'll flip out with the mask." That's a luchador, and he'll get a crazy reaction. And Daylyt will do that entire fucking.
Oh man, I'm not even sure. Will that even make the cut?
He'll do an entire scheme about the threat of a jersey. And
he battling Daylyt though. Then you're gonna be standing in front of some entendres and crazy wordplay. If Rock come with some basic type of stuff, maybe the crowd will sleep on him, man.
It's easier to catch the stuff Rock says than the stuff Daylyt says.
That's true.
Definitely. So you think if he writes, the right punches, the right sort of appeals to the crowd, that he could just take it just straight off of accessibility.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Tayrock could take it in the building off of that.
Yeah.
Not on camera. Not on camera. I don't think Rock has a single chance on camera.
On camera, it's gonna look nasty. Yeah. So if we're talking off the live stream on Caffeine, I got it 2-1 Rock. But off of the second watch, I'll have it Daylyt 3-0 most likely.
I agree.
Parallel universe bar.
All right, so let me ask y'all this real quick. Rumford Knittington versus Hollow to Bennett. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I got Hollow 2-1. What's up?
That post that was on that Reddit, for y'all that didn't see the post, I know, but there was a post discussing how Hollow is going to show levels, but people still call it Rumnitty 3-0 just based on punches. I don't know how much I agree with that.
I agree.
Rumnitty, I don't think Rumnitty's ever showed at a level below an 8 out of 10, where I think Hollow has in the recent battles, like the Danny battle, the John battle, even the Math battle, even if that was a weird battle. Hollow hasn't really been showing up recently. he has to show up against Nitty at like a 10 or even a 9. A 9 for a debatable, a 10 for a win. If he doesn't show up at that, then Nitty's going to beat him. And it being a small room battle, assuming it's on Nomex, of course, then people are going to be paying attention to the punches, and Hollow most likely would need the crowd to be able to have his creativity. So it might get even harder for him in that building.
I feel like maybe Hollow is gonna come through with like a crazy angle or some shit, or try to do some like you the little nigga type of deal and try to keep him at bay with just like his star power. Because I don't foresee Nitty slacking on his pen at all for that battle. I feel like he's gonna like break the room over and over again on Hollow, because Hollow's name is not only easy to flip, you know what I'm saying? A lot of it's been done before, but Nitty is just that much more. So I just think Hollow hasn't shown me in like the last few years that the spark is that hot. Like he's like younger dude. Like I feel like Nitty might just straight up body him right now. And I think Hollow is gonna fight. He's gonna get some reactions and all that stuff. But I don't know if I could give a round to that man right now. The way Nitty's been on a killing spree, man.
Nah, I don't think Nitty's on a killing spree. I think that's too bold a statement, man. In fact, Nitty's been on a pretty low, if we're being honest, compared to what he was, when he was battling Av and Iron in them.
Right.
Lately, he's been having one okay round, one great round, and one why are we even listening to this round?
I don't know about
Not to disrespect Nitty, he's still like in my top 5, but Hollow's number 1 in my opinion. You take his performance against, let's say, Big T, for example. Hollow could beat that. His performance against Official, for example. Hollow could beat that. His performance against the Saga. Hollow could beat that. Like,
what Hollow have we seen recently that would beat that?
Yeah, but we don't see much Hollow recently, period.
Past 3 battles we've seen from Hollow, they've
Yeah,
been like possible. Like one of them was a clear loss, and 2 of them were debatable losses.
But those are grudge matches we're talking about, man.
But still, I think Hollow being Hollow, he was the favorite in all 3 matchups. So I think it's up to Hollow really to show why he should be considered the GOAT if we are calling him the GOAT.
Hollow was the one guy that we've looked at who has maybe the fewest losses on his resume, and then Rum Nitty is, in my eyes, someone I consider the top young battle rapper in the game right now. I have to take the momentum of Rum Nitty and knowing what he has been able to do over the course of the last year, and I see that reaching a higher peak than what Hollow has been able to give me over the last year. Because if we think about it, the sport is a lot of what have you done for me lately? So I think Rum is just gonna come fresh with it. He's gonna have some creative flips. As far as an angle on Nitty, unless it's something that's astronomically buried that we don't know, I don't know what Hollow's gonna have for him. And I don't mean to discredit Hollow, because obviously Hollow is one of the greatest battle rappers of all time. I think Rum Nitty's just gonna come with it.
Okay.
Damn, man, am I alone here with thinking Hollow's gonna win?
Hollow's gonna win. Hollow.
Oh, thank you. We got New York in the house.
No, it's not even. Hollow does more than Nitty, but he got like the full package.
I agree with that, but I think the issue with that is, again, it's a small room, and people are going to listen for bars more than anything. And how many times are we going to hear the you only do gun bar angle without it getting tiring? Like Iron did it, and then Bdot did it. And so if Hollow does it, it's going to be like, you're not saying anything different than these guys have said it already.
That's true. I don't think if he goes with that angle, it's going to win the battle, but that could win a round.
Yeah, but I feel like
I can see both of them winning one round off of the other. I'll say that much. It's just going to come down to who can get that last round.
Makes Sense has opted to go for the chat route that Wrath was going with last time, and he says Nitty 2-1. For him, he prefers punches more than anything, except if the other's performance completely overshadows the punches. And Makes Sense isn't exactly sure if Hollow can do that. It's not a knock against Hollow, but more of a compliment towards Nitty. How do y'all feel about that?
I agree with the ending of that, but I think Hollow is too well-rounded and versatile to not be able to get over that hump. I mean, the fact that he was able to take on the God Pen, Loaded Lux, and again, this is the best Loaded Lux we've ever seen, and he has an arguable win against that, it tells me he could do it.
Lux and Nitty are 2 different animals.
Can you say that Lux that faced Hollow would beat any Nitty that we've ever seen, and that's factual?
Yes.
No,
So
I agree with that.
So
I'm saying I'm saying what you would write for both of them would be completely different.
If Hollow gets in that back, like that Lux, saying that Lux would wash that Nitty would mean that Hollow doesn't need to have that level of material. But if Hollow comes like something like how he came for Clips, if he comes like that versus Nitty, he gonna beat Nitty.
I agree with Swag.
I don't know, because Hollow's third wasn't crazy
Like,
against Clips, and
But
I
he
think
killed him with two.
he killed him with two. I agree. There's a Nitty can reach that level that Hollow reached against Clips. I don't know, but my point is he hasn't reached that level in nearly 2 years, 3 years actually. Now that you think about it, like he was okay against, he was good against Rock. I'm not gonna take that away from him. He had a good first against Arsenal, and I didn't really like his second and third. And then after that, it's been like, what have you done, really? So it's been what, and then what? Clips was 5 years ago, so he really hasn't shown up to the level that. Like, I'm not saying he has to be a Lux or Clips level every single time. I'm just saying he really hasn't shown anything that would make me believe that he can beat Nitty right now.
So, okay. So real quick, let's lock in the predictions. I got Hollow 2-1.
Hollow 2-1.
I got Nitty 2-1.
I got Nitty 2-1, and Makes Sense also has Nitty 2-1.
Hey, I can't wait to come back to this podcast after Hollow beats Nitty.
Yeah, I'm with you, Swag.
It'll be a preference battle.
This battle is my favorite battle on the card.
Assuming it's on the card. We don't even know if it's on the card yet.
I don't know if you guys been like looking at Twitter, but Hollow said this battle might not even go down because of the way Nitty's being.
Yeah, I hope it
Nitty.
does.
So Hollow said he might be on to Shine. In that case, then I got Hollow 3-0 over Shine.
3-0.
I feel like Shine is like
Shine is an inferior Nitty.
Is he?
Shine is a Walmart, New Jersey Twerk Nitty hybrid.
Yes,
At this
exactly what
point.
Swag's saying. I don't think Shine was to see Hollow.
I think it's completely different than Nitty, to be honest.
I don't think Shine was to see Hollow in the slightest bit.
If Rum didn't choke in that battle, he probably near 30 Shine.
Maybe not 30. I had Shine taking that first, but he would have got that clear.
Yeah.
I agree with Shine beating Nitty if he didn't choke, but I think Shine is a completely different animal than Nitty.
Hollow has more for a small room, whereas K-Shine is built for the gas, essentially. Not that K-Shine is bad, because we were just talking about last time how K-Shine is really, really great right now, but Hollow, from a pen standpoint, where in the small room the pen really shines, whereas in a venue performance is what really shines, pun intended. I think Hollow would pretty easily handle K-Shine.
I think Hollow would win. I'm just thinking, I think your guys just not giving Shine the chance he deserves.
Nah, I like Shine. I like Shine a lot, but it's Hollow we're talking about.
I don't know about Hollow 3-0. That's my thing.
Nah, Hollow 3-0.
I think Shine can get a round off of gas.
He said, nah, Hollow 3-0.
Shine can get a round off of gas.
In my opinion, exactly. That's the thing, though. If he could get a round off of gas, then did he really get that round?
People had Shine 3-0 against Ichi off of gas.
Yeah, and that's not even like close to what happened during that battle.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about in the building, really. I'm not talking about.
Oh yeah, on camera it's gonna be spooky for Sean, but
that's facts.
Yeah, I'm talking about in the building. Yeah.
Building, then yeah, in the building he gonna get that NWX gas plus the crowd trying to be NWX low key.
NWX.
They got like the 2018 Warriors. God damn it, they got Twerk. Y'all sleep on drugs a lot.
Drugs is garbage.
Drugs is not garbage. Stop.
No, hold up. I'm gonna say this again. Give me one drugs quotable right now.
Welcome to the gun show, nigga. It's like, nah.
He said, I don't care if there's a pistol to my head. Twerk, I swear to God, I know you. That was fire.
What?
He said that verse Arsenal when he kind of touched on the trick thing, and that was the punch. He said, Twerk, I don't care if there's a pistol to my head. I swear to God, I know you. I thought that bar was crazy.
That's fire, yeah.
I don't really like this bar, but he also said he was the reason why Geechee was hiding behind the tree.
That bar was terrible.
I don't know about
he got fucked up by a senior citizen. He was not the reason anyone was hiding behind the tree.
Twerk had to back out the pistol. I don't know why he thought that bar was fire. I wouldn't have said it.
Frail old man.
Some say so. We're split on Nitty versus Hollow. Let's go back to Rock versus Daylyt. How do y'all want to call that?
Daylyt 2-1. 30 on camera, clear.
Here's my thing with this battle. Will Daylyt be rusty? Because he hasn't battled in a while. His first battle back is Tayrock, and that's kind of a big battle. So my thought is, would Daylyt be rusty? I think I might have Day 2-1 though, because I was watching. It's crazy because that we're talking about Daylyt. I just started like really watching like Daylight's battles, and he is crazy good.
Facts.
So I got Day 2-1, but if Day like tries to do the antic thing or any of that, like I got Rock. 2-1.
I agree. Like I think, like what's stopping Daylyt really from just punching Rock out and then just running away? With an antic.
That would be hilarious.
Almost.
I think
Almost.
him and Lux is stopping it.
That's
He has
true.
to show out in this performance with him being on the same card as Lux.
This is a good warm up for Lux. I think
Mhm.
Surf is a good warm up for Daylyt as well for Lux. Yeah, I'll take Daylyt 2-1. I think it'll be a close battle. I think it could be a classic too, given the right conditions.
I'm hoping it's not a close battle because I if Daylyt loses, that kind of would put that Lux battle in jeopardy. So let's not do that.
I think the Lux battle is locked in no matter what.
I thought the JC Lux battle was locked in no matter what.
JC killed himself when you think about it.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
gonna
plus,
argue that.
Clips died against Hollow, and then he got Lux the next event. So like, it doesn't matter really.
Makes sense. Has Daylyt 2-1 clear. I'm going to be in the minority here. I'm going to have Daylyt 30 clear.
Oh.
Okay. I don't think there's a single soul who has Tay Rock here.
I thought you said you had Rock. I was
I
saying,
like Tayrock is one of my favorites, but like I just don't see a world where Tayrock wins this battle.
I could say Parallel Universe.
Because I don't want to say it because like it's kind of far from the truth, but Tayrock's kind of been like just a little bit like
Shaky.
slumping.
No,
He
that's a
did beat
fact.
Geechee.
That's a straight fact.
In my opinion, he did beat Geechee, but
He beat
He did beat Geechee. But let's be clear, Geechee beat himself.
Yeah, because he ain't right that third for real.
No, well, his first was his third. That's what they were saying. But I get your point, though. I get your point.
How do y'all feel about this as a matchup as a whole? Because to me,
That's a fire matchup.
I think it's a weird matchup because you've got
There's about 5 other matchups I'd rather see.
Exactly right. I think it's a weird thing for Daylyt to come back to is Rock. I don't know. I just don't see, like y'all have said, I don't see a world where Tayrock gets a round off of Daylyt unless, like we said, Daylyt goes for his weird antics. But as I think it was Swag who said this, and he made a great point. He has to show out here, even if it's booked, even if Lux versus Daylyt is booked, he's still got to show out here against Rock.
I think there's a couple more matchups I'd rather see Daylyt have.
Like what?
Rum. Rum.
Yeah, I mean that was my first one.
Danny. Bdot rematch.
I don't know about Danny.
I'd rather see all those battles before Rock.
Well, if we talking stock, like there's very few people you can go with whose stock is like around Lux's.
No, I'm talking about the Daylight's coming back. I'm talking about battling Daylyt on Nomax.
This might be a very bad take about him, but I feel like Daylyt versus Bdot would be crazy.
They battled already. Before. And
I think a rematch would be crazy. I think Daylyt would smoke him in a rematch.
Whoa, no.
Listen, man, I stand by this opinion. I think the only one, I mean, Saga made it close. I think Bdot won, but Saga is exactly what I mean. Only one who could talk to Bdot with the same shit that Bdot talks to other people with is Daylyt. And I think Daylight's pen is better. I don't think Bdot wants to see him, honestly.
And I don't think Daylyt angles like Bdot. I don't think a lot of people angle like Bdot. And I think Bdot would break him down so well. I think it's fair to think Daylyt would beat him, but to say smoke, I think that's disrespectful to Bdot.
That's fair. But no, Rock makes sense to me. I understand. Like, we talking stock for somebody right before Beloved, it has to be somebody on that echelon. And I'm not Tayrock, then it has to be like a Hitman or Rumnitty, but Rumnitty's supposed to be battling Hollow.
I think Hitman would have been a better warm-up because if we look at Rock's trajectory, since the Goods battle, really, his stock has fallen from being the top guy in the URL. His stock has fallen greatly.
That Geechee battle gave him the bounce back that he needs, but he hasn't had a battle since then, and he needed to keep up on that. The way 2020, I'm not counting those quarantine battles. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about Glue. I'm thinking about Glue.
Oh, Glue happened.
Glue, he wasn't crazy versus Glue, but he beat him.
He was good. He beat him. He beat Glue, but it's Glue.
He said, new shotgun. I got it from FUD. This is Elmer's Glue.
I like that. I understand it. I'm glad it's Tayrock. It could have been somebody better, but that's one of the best names they could have come up with. Daylyt versus Tayrock, for two people who are really good at name flipping, those are two names that are easy to name flip.
Oh, yeah. Who y'all think Twerk should battle next?
Him and Hollow?
Really? I know a lot of us aren't big Twerk fans since... Well, it's not that he's a bad battler. I think just his stuff he does outside of battling, choking, recycling, running away with deposits.
Discord leagues deposit.
Yeah, that... Like,
shout out to Luno.
I know myself. I soured on Twerk for a while. What do y'all think about that? Like, do you think he should be given a plate at no?
I don't think he should, but if he does get one, it'll either be K Shine or Hit.
I don't think he'll battle K-Shine. Not yet, at least.
Either one he gets, I think he'd lose to, especially if it's Hitman.
I think he can beat Shine.
Twerk beat Shine? I don't know. I don't think he can.
I think he can. I think he could.
No, he can. He definitely can. Shine is
Yeah.
Twerk.
Shine's Twerk, Twerk is Shine.
Shine is Twerk. Get him the fuck out of here.
Spider-Man
Like,
meme.
in that Geechee battle, he turned into New York Shine.
New York Shine.
No,
I
he
like
just
New
did-
Jersey Shine, man. That's the
New Jersey
craziest thing
Shine.
about it. New Jersey Shine was fire against Geechee. It's just that gas ruined him, man.
He's still gonna lose, but he's fine.
Rocket those steps. Like, why
This nigga Shine said either your cover gets blown or the jig is up. The fuck does that mean?
What do you say? The first line in the battle, arm up like Rocky hit the old steps, and the crowd's like, ah!
I wish you wouldn't have done that shit. That shit made no sense.
So far for Gnome 10, we have Surf versus Lux, Daylyt versus Tayrock, and we have the Ultimate Madness Championship as the 3 officially announced matchups. The other potential matchups, Hollow versus Rum Nitty, and K-Shine versus Chess.
Don't forget, there's a good chance that there's going to be a Geechee versus Goods as well. They announced it for the future, but we don't know when the battle's going to take place yet.
Let me ask this. I'll exclude Geechee versus Goods because we don't know for sure if that's going to be on Gnome or if it's going to be on Summer Madness or whatever. But what is one more battle you want to see on Gnome 10?
Hitman versus Nitty.
Hitman versus Nitty. We're assuming Nitty's battling Hollow, so it can't be Nitty.
Yeah, assuming Nitty's battling Hollow, I want to see Hitman twerk.
Interesting.
I need to see more Hitman, period.
I know this won't happen because Canada's border has been closed, but Hitman versus Pat would be insane.
That stays like one of my favorite battle rappers.
Yeah, makes sense that Hitman versus Geechee. If not Hitman versus Pat, then Hitman versus Geechee would be dope as well.
Just Hitman, period. I want to see him. I'm going to be alone in this opinion. I want to see JC. Mostly because it's a small room battle. I think he shines really well in that environment.
Let's put JC versus Loso and Nomex. Let's do it.
I don't want to
see Loso, but I do want to see JC.
I'd rather see Loso instead of JC on that card because JC's...
I'm gonna add one more. I want to see Mike P and franchise.
No Canadian battlers, remember? Because the border is...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's why we can't get Pat versus Hitman.
Pat versus Shine.
Pat versus Shine, yeah. I like to see, assuming if we're assuming Nitty and Hollow is happening, I think Verb versus Geechee would be interesting as well.
Verb versus Av.
Verb versus Av too. Yeah, those battles would be dope. I think there's a lot of good matchups they could go to.
It makes sense. Also said Goods versus Av, which I think would be a good battle.
I like that
one.
Good matchup. Actually, like that one. That'd be
I don't think
fine.
Av wants that matchup.
Let's talk Ultimate Madness, or I guess you could call this past Saturday Ultimate Badness, because overall, except for Ultimate Sadness, whatever you want to call it,
my God.
overall, I think a fairly disappointing product. There was a handful of good performances. Let's talk about it. So we got Jay the Nightwing, Rubando, Ace Amin, and Fonz moving on to the final 4 of Ultimate Madness. We'll start off with Yusuf. Who was the one performance that really shined for you this week?
Fonz. He had 3 great rounds. His third was incredible. That's it. That's all I can say. 2 battles I've seen him. 6 great rounds. He's just been showing out. Honorable mention to second for Jay the Nightwing. I think he had 2 great rounds, and he's been impressing me lately.
As someone who only was able to watch Jay versus Lou, and because I didn't have the context of the other battles, like the energy in the room, I think it was a good battle. Like we've seen better from both in the previous round, but that's just based on the 2-week prep they had. But even then, Fonz, from what I'm hearing, Fonz went ridiculous, so that shouldn't really be an excuse. But even then, I think both had okay performances, and I think it was the right call to have Jay Lou Castro.
Swag, what do you think?
Oh my God. I want to be biased and say Rubando, but I don't want to piss anybody off.
Oh my fucking God.
Bro, speak your piece. No. Speak your piece.
Nah, if you say that shit, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Speak your piece.
I'm joking. I'm just being biased. But I
Don't say that
shit. I do feel like Bando was a really good step up from the last time we seen him. Thank God. I just feel like he needs to realize that this is a tournament for a good amount of money and people actually want to see him do good, and he needs to stop playing. But for real though, I liked Easy's performance. I feel like I think Easy did really good. I had him winning. Too bad the judges saw differently, but I had Easy winning. I think Easy did really good in his battle.
Was he good? I didn't.
People liked his performance. I thought he was trash though.
Is it? Wait, would you say it's Yusuf? Would you say it's better than his the Dawn battle?
Yes, I'll say that much. I'll give him that much. He had quotables this time, but I hate his fucking voice. I don't like how he raps. And it really stresses me out seeing him show out or even somewhat do decently. Because I'm sitting here like, I don't think he deserves the spot he's in.
What is this papu ass nigga doing here?
That's a
Like,
fact.
that idea that Uncle Raw keeps throwing out, like this is not a $25,000 battle. I feel like
Facts.
saying that is like bullshit. Like thinking about who's in this tournament. Like these guys were just battling for $10, like basically. You throw them into this ring for 25,000. What do you expect for them to do?
I get that, but like I understand why he holds him in such a high regard. Like that's why like basically any choke or stumble is basically just the end of you because this is such an important tournament, and I like how they're constantly pointing out the importance of the battles that are happening. I think that's really important.
I agree, man. These supposed to be the top 8 of the PG class. Most of them aren't showing it. A couple of them are. Shout out to Jay the Nightwing. Shout out to Fonz.
And Kid Chaos in his one battle and Real Sick as well.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. I think Rubando's garbage. I don't understand why we getting a third battle from him. And I also don't understand how Kid Chaos and Real Seek are out of the tournament, but we're getting more fucking Ace Mean and Rubando.
Hey, don't speak bad on Ace's name.
Oh my god.
Nah, but I understand the frustration. I wonder how the brackets are made because it feels they're made weirdly because there feels like there's no balance in the brackets being made. Like Real Sick versus Jay the Nightwing the first round, and one of them's going to be out immediately. That's like, damn, really?
I bet it was randomized.
I'm sure it's randomized. It
I
just
don't
sucks,
think
though.
it was because Brooklyn Hands and Big Hand battled. That was intentional.
You think so?
100%. Ace Mean and Bad News, that couldn't have been random. No, they 100% like put Mr. Hands together. They 100% put the best face-off dudes together. They were intentional with how they put the bracket.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know. We can't really say for sure if it was or wasn't, you know?
So how would you guys put the bracket together if you were in charge of Ultimate Madness?
For the first round battles. So assuming everybody stays on the same side, I'd put what's the name? Your Honor versus Jay. I think that would be a good matchup for the first round. I'd put Gunpowder Pat versus Real Sick. I put Rubando versus Kid Chaos. And then the other two, I don't really care about. I don't know the other two I didn't name. Castro and Squeako. They can match up. They can match up that first round.
Matchup. I feel like putting people like Ace in this Ace and Jay and all the people, those people that like already kind of have a name and don't really need this. It's kind of like thing because like there's people like Easy, Fonz, Kruger, Bando, Pat, and Sick that actually like need to make a name in URL, and then they put them against like people who got names. And I feel like that's so unnecessary. Like they should be saved for like Ultimate Madness too. Because if you're gonna do it like this, they should put like some of the PG.
Nah, I disagree, man. I think Ace Mean and Jay needed to prove themselves after those chokes.
Honestly, the only person I didn't think that should be on there is Don Marino, if I'm being completely honest.
He's like a glorified PG.
Don has names.
Yeah, he beat this Discord battler and Luna was crazy.
That's I was there for that.
He battled Geechee.
He has chess. Like he has names on his resume, so I don't see why. Like he has B Magic. He has Saga.
I'll be honest, man. I'm just mad that Kid Chaos ain't going to the finals. That's it.
Yeah, he should have beat Luke Castro.
I'm gonna go off of Swag's comment a little bit because I think Ace is probably a little bit too big for this tournament, especially all his talking on Champion, and he can sell himself really well, and he's got a name, he's got a buzz, and ultimately he's also been on at least 2 pretty big URL cards, Swamp, and he got floored there, and then he was also on Summer Impact Reloaded, which was a venue battle. I think that is already a lot of exposure. Jay the Nightwing, he can be there because I don't think he has as many big names or big showings.
Looking at something right now, it probably isn't like the full matchup because one of these matchups probably can't happen. But I'm seeing like this Gnome 10 kind of card living, and it's correct so far. The only thing is I'm seeing Mike P versus Saga might be going down on that.
That'd be fire.
I got Mike P 3-0. He got something to prove.
Whoa, I got to win.
Who in the Ultimate Madness bracket is meeting up at Gnome 10 for the Ultimate Madness title? The matchups are Jay the Nightwing and Rubando, and then Ace Amin and Fonz. Yusuf, who do you got?
Jay the Nightwing and Fonz.
Beloved, who do you got?
I'll take the upset. I'll go Jay versus Ace.
Okay, and Swag, who do you have?
Bando versus Fonz.
Oh my god, this nigga.
I feel like let me say I feel like Bando understands it now. Like people are now telling him like this is the matchup that's probably going to decide your future in the URL. And if he drops a hair, because he kind of got lucky in his last two, Honor, in my opinion, he was beating Honor before he choked. But like that Gunpowder Pat battle, he probably could have lost it if Pat wasn't terrible.
Bando should have realized it was serious the moment it was announced that was for 25K. Why does he have to wait until the damn near before the final matchup to realize it's a serious battle or a serious tournament?
That's crazy to me. Like, I don't think Bando's problem is bars. His problem is his energy. Like, he just doesn't sound happy to rap at all. That third round energy is what we need. Like how he wasn't at third, but the first and second, he's rapping like he didn't care at all.
I'm sure if I go on the app and watch one of his battles, he's not as bad as he looks in this tournament. When I look at this tournament and I see all these young battle rappers, I'm thinking to myself, if I'm gonna do I want to invest in these guys? Like, there's probably like a handful of guys I probably want to invest in. Really, that's really it. Like Jay, Kid, Chaos, Sick, Fonz, and maybe Ace because he knows how to market himself. Other than that, I don't know if I really want to. I don't even know if I want to put my money into these people if I was a league owner potentially.
That's a great point, Sauce, and I agree with those names that you said. I think you could throw Your Honor in there just because he has a viral moment, and I think he has potential, but he's just been choking too much. And
Hot Mob's doing it too.
He looks like Rex nowadays. Been looking like Rex nowadays.
Like, my issue was like he tried to like BS it after. Like, you choked, bro. We know you choked. You don't know what you're about to say. He's like, shout out to Bando. This my man though. Like, shut up, bro. We know you choked. Like, I appreciate him like trying, but like, dude, it's a $25,000 tournament. You gotta like, I'm not gonna be like, this ain't 25K material, but you gotta be prepared at least. As long as you're prepared, I can't be mad. You tried, but you ain't prepared, and then you had more time than the people who had 2 weeks. And Fonz and Easy put on a crazy battle, and they had less prep time than you did.
I think they all had the same amount of prep time nowadays because
they didn't. Fonz and Easy had a week less, but we can't talk about Hands and Ace. They was both stumbling and choking, and
that shit was horrible.
It was hard to watch.
I like both of them too, which sucks.
I like Hands because he's from Brooklyn, and I like Ace because he's cool.
Yeah.
Let's get into the meat of the discussion. We've lost Luno. R.I.P. Luno.
ROTY.
Let's go ROTY, COTY, BOTY. We're going to start off with round of the year, and we're going to start from the bottom this time. Let's start with Swag. Swag, what do you have for round of the year contenders?
Mike P second versus Danny. I think that wins automatically, but I'm gonna try to think. Big K first versus Audie.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
I can't even think anything from the Genesis event. That event was terrible.
From what Genesis? Yeah,
Genesis was terrible.
You could probably do, if you pick an event from that, you could probably do like John second versus Chess.
Yeah, but like not even that. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to think. Casey, sleeper pick. Casey J's third versus Miss Merc.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that was a fire round. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. That was fire.
I haven't seen that one.
I like KCJ. I like KCJ a lot.
Yeah. Simp. All right, yeah, go.
All right,
I like.
Go ahead, Sauce. Go ahead.
So for my I'll go from third, second, first. I'll go for my third best round of the year. I got Chaos first versus Seek. Second, I got Mike P second versus Danny, and then first I got Saga's third versus Bdot.
Okay, go ahead, Yusuf.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Most of those aren't on my list. Part of it is because I'm hating. I'm gonna start with Emerson Kennedy's third against Quantum Physics. That shit hurt my soul. John Adon's second versus Chess. He caught a body with that round. I think that's real significant. I'm gonna go Bdot second versus Remnitty.
In my third spot, I got T-Top's second round versus Arsenal. It was a total veteran move. Was it off the dome? No, but it was a veteran move by T-Top. My two spot for the round of the year. Mike P's second versus Danny Myers. He talked to that man's soul. Another honorable mention, Cortez's first against T-Top is a good one. My round of the year with Sauce as well, it's Saga's third against Bdot.
Saga's third is probably the obvious main contender, man. That round was heavy.
Like, I've always been of the opinion that angles beat bars, and angles are generally more able to become rounds of the years. So I feel like my three choices were really just the best angles I've seen this year, and not just the best bars in the year per se. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go back and agree with Swag on the Big Hit versus Adi Boom. Part of me is just hating because I don't like seeing my niggas lose. I was rooting for Bdot and I was rooting for Danny. And actually, I got both Bdot and Danny winning those battles. their opponents had the one round that mattered. Big K might have ended somebody, period, with that
Yeah,
one round
he
against Adi.
definitely did. Yeah.
You don't see rounds like that often. Like that killed his whole career. Like we can't see Adi again.
No,
Yeah.
that's a fact. That's a fact. I can still watch Bdot and Danny. I can't watch Adi no more.
Kind of does it to himself too. Like he would say something stupid like, "Why would you call Hollow a drug addict?" and then
Mm,
Danny be doing it to himself. I honestly just don't like Danny's style at all. But like,
watch your mouth.
I,
That's the guy.
that round was like I remember listening to it. I'm like, yo, like this man is like really talking perfectly tailored.
And here's my thing with the Big K round. Most of the jokes that I forgot. I forgot that the event was this year.
Mhm.
But I think my thing with it is that Big K wasn't really like the rapping, like the material itself was dope. I just didn't like the rapping. Like the angle was dope, but I didn't really like how he rapped it. I didn't really like how he said it. But I think the fact that it was just, oh, you're a snitch, I feel like that propelled it to being one of the best angles ever. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, really, like as you said, the bars were pretty good. Like that snitch boy, I ought to
Yeah,
be shooting. Should have fought the case.
but I think the problem was like the rounds that we all chose. I feel like the rapping itself, the bars of themselves, in the angles were better. I think the Big K angle was just the best. That's the issue with me.
I also think it's interesting that between the three probably biggest contenders, or I'm sorry, Saga's third, Mike P second, and then or Big
First,
K's first. All those battles at the time they all lost 2-1.
I don't got
yeah,
Mike losing that battle. Big K losing at all.
no, because Big K to me, Big K lost the second, third based on the rapping, but on principle, he 30'd him like in the first round, so it doesn't really matter.
I'm not gonna stand on my opinion. I'm gonna go with for ROTY that third from Saga. I'm gonna agree with y'all.
Honestly, I like the third from Saga, then the second, Mike P second, and then I'm okay with putting Big K's first.
Before we move on to the next topic, what should I get from Wingstop?
Barbecue and
Facts, lemon pepper.
Fuck what they talking about.
I
Get
don't know
mango
what
habanero. If you're not getting
No,
mango habanero,
can't
you're
you
not
get
getting Wingstop.
you can get two, I think. You can
Yeah,
get two
I'm getting
sauces.
two. So I'm gonna roll with. I'm gonna go hickory smoked barbecue.
The mango habanero, that shit's fire.
Mango habanero.
Yeah, that shit's fire.
Hey, listen, y'all. I don't do hot stuff. I do not do.
Oh my god.
I know, I
I'm gonna
know, I
smoke you in
know,
a
I know,
rematch.
I know, I know,
I'm
I
gonna
know.
kill you in a rematch. That's ammo you shouldn't have given.
Shit.
Did a clip of hot peppers.
I'm gonna roll with garlic parmesan. Hickory smoked and
Fire.
garlic parmesan. Okay, let's go to Battle of the Year. We'll start with sauce.
Bdot versus Saga is number one for me. Number two, I got Kid Chaos versus Real Sick. And then number three, I got LSC. I got Peachy and Bdot versus Wayward and Loso.
That's a great list.
Yusuf, go ahead.
Three's not enough. I'm gonna go number 3 with Kid Chaos and Real. I'm gonna go number 2 with Emerson Kennedy and Danny Myers. Number 1, Jerry West and John Adan for number 1.
I haven't seen that
Really?
one.
I like that one a lot, but I didn't think number one.
The issue with this conversation is there aren't enough battles that are back and forth to make this conversation really heavy. There's been so few battles, so what do we have to go off of?
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I think because a lot of the battles that we're picking, they're all at battles.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Except for like the 2-on-2 I picked, they're all
No,
at
yeah,
battles.
exactly. And then a few RBE battles. But when
Yeah.
we go, I should have mentioned Chef Trez and Sharon, but I still got my 3.
That's Trez versus Sean's my honorable mention.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Jerry and John for number 1.
That's dope. I agree. That's fine. I'm not mad at it.
Sharon versus Chef Trez was really that good.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
really was.
It was innovative. It was innovative. Let me say that.
I hate
can't even
Sharon.
pick a winner.
Yeah, I hate Sharon, but that battle's incredible.
Hulu's on you.
For my number 3 Battle of the Year, I'm gonna go with Emerson Kennedy versus Quantum Physics. I really loved that battle. I loved the way, not only the way the two MCs brought it. I was fairly unfamiliar with Quantum Physics' work, but I think he's got a very original style that can be kind of abrasive, but I really enjoyed watching it, and I thought he did very well. And obviously, Emerson Kennedy was incredible.
Well, you should watch QP versus Bill Collector. I think you would love that battle.
Okay, I will. I will watch that. I'll roll with, for number 2, Saga versus Bdot, another incredible battle. And number 1, I'm going to go with Kid Chaos versus Real Seek because, and the reason why I'm picking that one is because
Talk about it.
we mentioned it in chat the day of the battle. That I think is the next generation of JC versus Chilla Jones. It's just a demonstration of creativity from Kid Chaos and realness from Real Sick. And, it was two young cats who probably shouldn't have been in that position that they were in. Let's face it, at the end of the day, that battle was supposed to mean nothing for both of them.
Yeah.
But instead, they both came with it, and they made an instant classic. So that's why I chose Kid Chaos and Real Sick as my number one battle. Go ahead, Swag.
So for number 3, man, this movie fun. I got Sharon versus Trez at number 3. Number 2, Mike P versus Danny. That was a good back and forth. And at number 1, of course, I got the 2-on-2 with A-Ward and Loso and Geechee and Bdot.
We do not have much overlapping in our battles.
I think three of us have Kid Chaos versus Real Sick, and 2 of us have Saga and Bdot.
But I mean, that was my number 3, I think.
And that was my number 1, yeah.
And that was my number 2.
Shit, I don't think we're gonna agree on this one.
I think we should come up with a definitive 3.
I would like to. We could probably do a top 5 easier than a 3. That's hard. That's really hard.
The reason I'm saying 3 is because we came up with 3 rounds for round of the year. So I would want to just keep it consistent. But if we want to do only 3, if we want to do 5, we can do 5.
Well, will anybody back me up on my argument for Jerry and John?
I haven't seen that battle, so.
I've seen it and I really enjoyed it, but I would need to put a rewatch in because I can't remember much about it because it was back in like January, right?
That's exactly January, and it was an incredible back and forth.
No, I believe you. I'm just saying I can't remember it.
All right, I'm not gonna die on that hill.
Do we have to put it in order?
If we could get a number 1, we could figure it out from there.
All right, I think number 1 should be Chaos versus Seek or Saga versus Bdot, in my opinion.
I'm gonna agree with Seek and Kid Chaos. The fact that was a fucking 2 weeks prep battle.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
And that round from Kid Chaos is a contender for round of the year.
Oh yeah, that first? Yeah. I mean, I had it on my list, yeah.
What'd you think of that, Hula, as number 1 for...
That's good for me.
You had number 1.
Yeah, that's good for me. And then...
Number 2...
Probably Saga versus Bdot. Are we good with that?
I agree.
Yeah.
And number 3, the 2-on-2?
Yeah, I'm done with that. Hula, you good with that?
Yeah, sure.
And then Champion of the Year.
Okay.
This is a hard one. Number 1, Emerson Kennedy. Number 2, Bdot. Number 3, I'm gonna go John Adon.
Hula, what you got?
Okay, so for my number 3 spot, I've also got Emerson Kennedy. I think he has done a really good job of building his name up through these app battles and through his performances, especially with quantum physics and with Danny Myers. Emerson Kennedy gets my 3 spot. Shout outs to him. Bdot gets my 2 spot. Just an incredible year so far. I hope he continues it. And then my number 1 spot is going to go to the Saga.
I thought you'd say that.
Yep. And this is coming from someone who prior to this year wasn't really feeling Saga at all, to be quite honest. And Saga wasn't exactly my cup of tea. And part of that is my fault because I think I kind of painted him in the Christian rapper corner. But he has done incredible things this year. So I'm going to go with the Saga.
My list is number 3. I got John. At first, I only had 2. But just hearing you guys talk, it was really like I said, it was only a toss-up between John and EK. John bodying Chess slightly put him over the top. It's incredibly difficult to body QP and Danny. I think that still John should get his flowers for that. Number 2, I got Sensei Saga. Come on, I mean, one of the best battles I've seen in I don't know how long. Same thing with my number 1, Bdot.
Oh, we got hot take alert.
Hot take.
There's a decent amount of overlap this time. Hot take, you want to give your quick top 3 for Champion of the Year?
I'm not qualified for
Okay. Yeah, he said he's not qualified for it.
That's valid.
Bdot is actually top of the list right now, I think.
You think so? Who's your top 3, Swag?
Sorry, do your top 3?
I got Bdot number 1, number 2.
Rubando.
I'm dead.
I know number 1 is Bdot and my number 3 is Geechee. I just can't fill in the second.
I'm not mad at that.
Geechee's a good one. I mean,
I think he did an okay one.
He had a great battle not a great battle. He had a great performance against Big Magic, in my opinion.
Go ahead, Swag. Who's your number 2?
Jerry West.
Jerry West is a great one.
Okay.
I have Jerry West at like number 5 maybe. Mainly because I don't think he's won a battle this year.
Yeah, I mean, he lost to Nitty to me. I think I had him losing to John as well.
John 2-1 against him.
So I think Wes and Geechee would be harder cases to make than the other guys, really. I think the tough part would be deciding John or EK. All of us have Bdot on our list, so I think Bdot should be number 1.
I'm good with that.
I'm a little mad at that.
You have EK over him? You have Emerson Kennedy over Bdot? Okay. I think EK. I'm okay with EK being at 2 and then Saga at 3. To be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. But my thing with Emerson Kennedy, for one, he's the reason I think single-handedly, low-key, that we have these
Yo, what's up?
standoff battles for these battlers to show out on. What's good, Ref? I don't think we're getting these Bdot performances without Emerson. And I want to acknowledge that. A.
I'll just agree
B.
with that.
I think Emerson Kennedy did better against his comp than Bdot did against his.
I also would say that I think Bdot's comp was harder than Emerson Kennedy's. Nitty and Saga was Saga was a grudge match as well. They're supposed to battle like 4 years, for 4 years now, up until
That's
the battle.
true. And while I
So I
don't
think-
like this argument because I think Bdot would have won regardless, he didn't beat a great Nitty. He didn't beat the greatest Nitty.
I think he beat a solid Nitty. That's fair.
And
That's fair.
considering it's Saga where he's up against, not to disrespect Saga because he's the best horseman in my opinion, but Bdot versus Saga on paper should be clear 2-1.
But I know you're not paying attention to Saga like that. But Saga's been on a run for the past 2 years. He's been on a run.
That I disagree with, man. But I hear what you're saying.
Either I'm more inclined to give it to Bdot than EK, but I'm fine with either.
I'll agree. I'll say Bdot number 1.
Just based on the numbers, I think we have to put Bdot at number 1, just the way the numbers look.
Welcome back, Lockhart.
Howdy.
You want to
Top
give your
three
top
first.
3 for champion of the year so far?
Probably can't, if I'm being honest about it.
That's fine.
I'll take that either.
I'll take it neither. So we got Bdot at number 1. All of us would agree. EK at number 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a strong argument for him there.
I don't
That's
think you'll
the
hear.
hill I'll die on.
I think you won't hear any objection from anybody here.
Nope.
And then I have Saga at 3, if that works for everybody.
Nah, Saga having one great round now because he lost to Cortez, clear.
One great round. Is that the hill you want to die on?
Out of 2 battles, yeah, 100%.
Being disrespectful to Saga with that, because
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just have one great round and have a debatable with Bdot.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
an argument.
Don't get me
No.
wrong, man. I still got Bdot 2-1. It is debatable. I'll give you that. But 2 battles, your biggest argument is having one great round. I don't think is enough.
But
That's not fair.
that's not even true though, Yusuf, because
Oh man, we gonna argue. Let's go.
I mean,
We are going to argue about this.
because Saga also had a fantastic performance against Rum Nitty.
Was
Yeah,
it fantastic? He went. Hold up. He went twice the amount of time as Nitty, and he still lost all 3.
No, still, that doesn't. I mean, he still had a great performance against Nitty.
The only good round from Saga in that battle was third.
He
I
was
disagree.
only
Yeah, and
able
that third
to make
was
it somewhat debatable because he went double the time. I don't think that's enough, man.
And that third was an incredible round. And then he had
You guys are bugging, man. Here we go with this shit.
And I think Saga had debatable battle with Nitty. I don't think Nitty was crazy
Because he
like
went
that.
twice the amount of time.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I
he
disagree.
100% did. I can show you right now.
No, I believe that he went most of the time. He went twice the time, but I don't think it was because of that he had a debatable with him. I think Saga's material was that good.
I agree. Suicide, I do the
man.
job. There were times where I was employee of the month. Don't tell me that's
Exactly.
not
He
hard.
can't have all those bars without having that much time in it.
No, it's up to Nitty and Smack to call time on him, and they just
Yeah.
happen not to call time.
That exactly right, Sauce. That's exactly right.
Listen. Y'all giving credit where credit isn't due. Him having twice the amount of rounds he should have had and still
Nitty
not
could've
winning
been-
clear, that should be an argument against him, not for him.
That shouldn't be- okay, if that's not an argument for him, that shouldn't be an argument against him at all. I don't see how it's an argument against him. He spat the material. He had
If you're
good
going
material.
twice as long as me in a battle, you better win.
Hot take. What's your take on this? Just in terms of that.
Yes.
Thank you. If you're only able to get a win off some
Look, I'm
because you go
biased.
twice as long, it's like, did you really win?
But the question isn't did he win or not. The question is, did he have great material? That's the question.
Because he went twice as long. That shouldn't be a strong argument for Cody.
The thing with
So, Yusuf,
If you go
Yusuf,
twice as long as somebody but don't have if your material is only half as good, it's only 1-1 at that point.
the
Thank
question
you, hot
is,
take.
no, Mike. Moog spat for 27 minutes. Does that mean he has good material?
no.
That's
It means
I'm
he has a
saying.
lot of material.
Exactly. I'm
Yes.
saying Saga had good material as well as a lot of material. That's what I'm saying.
But only because he went twice as long. Nah, it's not a strong enough argument for top 3. No way.
So who'd you put there instead? John?
John.
How many battles does he have?
Chess and Jerry West. Close,
All right.
debatable with Jerry West and a clear body against Chess. Does anybody else have a stronger argument than that?
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I
Ichi,
think
maybe?
Saga should be. Ichi, I don't know about Ichi. What battles? Ichi has a body. Ichi has a
Tori-
body.
Twerk
Clear
and Magic.
and clear win over Magic.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at it, but again,
think-
that was a terrible
I think-
B Magic and a terrible Twerk.
It wasn't terrible
Again,
B Magic. It was just a short B Magic.
It was a terrible twerk.
That was 1 round B Magic.
Yeah.
He had 8 bars in his second and third, and then he did the slogan. I'm not counting. Not that I'm not giving that win to Geechee, but again, this is top 3 battlers so far.
All right. I'm fine with Saga or John.
Devil's advocate, you can't just discredit what Geechee did though in those performances.
That's valid. But if let me point this out, and Twerk clear loss. I'm not even gonna argue that one. B Magic versus Geechee Gotti. The 1 round B Magic wrapped was the 1 round Geechee loss.
I feel like that's also his lightest round. I feel like if you put Geechee second versus B Magic's first, I think Geechee second was better.
Maybe, but we will never know
But we
because
can't
he only
do
had
that.
1
Yeah.
round.
We can't do that.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, it's really a toss. Like I'm fine with any of those 3. If I'm being honest.
I'm putting my vote in for John Donadon.
I'm gonna vote for the Saga.
Oh my god, I
makes
hate y'all
sense.
so much.
I'd vote Geechee.
Oh my god, I hate y'all.
How about Swag?
Or swag. Yeah.
Geechee?
What?
I guess.
Oh man, y'all smoking on something different, man.
All right, so Geechee was 3rd. We'll put John at 4th.
Hot take, I need you, bro. Don't let me down.
Saga at 5.
Sorry, man. I get my weed from Michigan, so.
You said what?
Yeah, I get my weed from Michigan. That's what he said.
Oh my god, y'all doing John disrespectfully.
Real quickly, let's run down just some quick announcements. Again, we have the TYS tournament. I'm in it. Make Sense is in it. Smoking on Goofies is in it, who unfortunately did not pull through for the podcast today, but that's going to be on July 5th. First round, $150 cash prize.
Yo.
Oh, Swag God is in there as well. My apologies. Swag's in there as well.
Yes, so good.
I apologize.
Swag is also in there. Yusuf, you have a 2-on-2, is that correct?
Yeah, I have a 2-on-2 reach battle. Me and Art versus Opportune, this whatever. And I think the nigga name's Lackhard. I forget.
Oh, look at you trying to play name flips. Look at you.
I forget.
And then Hot Take is battling Wit Remy sometime in July, I believe.
Yeah, and in a few hours I got a battle with Smoke.
All right, and then next Sunday, Hot Take is battling against Wit Remy. I believe that's gonna do it, unless anyone else has anything else they want to say.
RapBattles tournament happening to be announced.
Right. Yes.
I'm out, so,
Our Discord.
I'm out. So.
All right. That's Sauce. That's right. Our Discord tournament is happening soon. After the TYS tournament, I think probably because we have so many people in it.
I got some battles coming up as well. I got a battle with a dude named Goonchild on EBL on the 18th. And then I got a battle with Black Roots same day that Hot Take battles with Remy. That's going to be a classic. If you haven't already heard my round for that, I feel sorry for you, and I feel sorry for Black Roots. I'm in a bunch of other tournaments as well. Looking forward to all of them.
All right. Congratulations. Makes sense. Keep putting in that work. Keep doing you. Swag God, you got any battles coming up other than the tournament?
I took like a little quick 1-rounder today though. That's up on SoundCloud.
Oh, the body.
Yeah, it's up on SoundCloud and YouTube. Check that out. Nothing. July 5th, Elevate tournament. Young Guy Swag versus Action Pack. Come see me catch a body for the body.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for everybody. Yusuf, Make Sense, Sauce, Hot Take, Swag, and for I guess a little brief moment, Luno. My name is Hula. Don't forget to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. We're going to try to keep getting this podcast wherever you want to listen to podcasts on the Apple Podcast. We'll get there eventually. We're going to work ourselves up. That's all I got. Take care. Stay safe, everybody.
Peace.